Today is Monday, September 17th, 2017, and this is the ServiceMonster Show. Today, Facebook cripples business-to-business targeting. We have an update on our Fill My Schedule update images, sad face, and ServiceMonster 6.1.2 due out by midweek. This week in social media. So last week, Facebook announced that it is pulling its support temporarily for employee and job titles. It looks like there were some advertisements directed at hate groups and Facebook wasn't having it. So they basically eliminated the targeting for these sections, and we as business-to-business advertisers rely on this heavily. So if you're targeting commercial accounts in your ads, that you might want to talk to whoever's running your social media campaigns in Facebook. Make sure they're aware of this fact and you guys have strategies to work around it. You may have heard Equifax got hacked, like giant amounts. You got hit. You just don't even bother checking, you're hit. So what do? Obviously you want to monitor your credit reports on a regular basis, make sure there's no fraudulent activity going on. The interesting part about the story for me is that the executives have been accused of selling off shares before they let people know, before they made the situation public, that they knew about it ahead of time, they sold some shares, and then they let everybody know, which indeed had a hit on the stock, somewhere up to 13%. The thing that else, though, I find interesting is a lot of these headlines are set up to throw these guys under the bus, and while that may certainly be true, they also sell and buy their stocks on a regular basis, and they have to fill out paperwork in order to do that and set that up ahead of time. So is this really a result? Is this a cause and effect, or is this just an interesting way to twist a headline to capture some views? This week at ServiceMonster. So Fill My Schedule, sad face. We had these card designs that we were excited about. Basically, we went to stock photography, pulled a couple of pretty cool images and posted them on Smug. Got a much better response than some of the original designs we had that were more vector-based art. You guys like this stuff with the smiling kids and the dogs, and we get it. Totally the same deal, right? ChemDry runs some exclusive content for their Fill My Schedule cards, and it's gorgeous. The same thing. It's imagery, it's pictures, it's real life. And so we followed suit. You guys went thumbs up, and then I posted yesterday on my personal wall, and then come to find out that Stanley Steamer has also picked these same images to do some Facebook advertising. Obviously, we don't want to associate that, and that's hard with stock images. What do? I mean, we can do an image search, but with stock photography, it's going to pull up all kinds of stuff. And then obviously, we've ran into this before with ChemDry. We had a picture of a dog, what was this, like 6 years ago, and they were using the same picture that we were. And it's just like the ones that you want to select because it has emotional pull, they're very few and far between. So we're going to have to start looking at some custom photography. I want to do that to my website as well. It's just going to take some time. So what do we do in the meantime? I'm not entirely sure. For today, though, we halt the presses. We're going to use the cards that we've been using for years, and yes, they need to be updated, but I want to make sure they're done right and we have no weird brand issues moving forward. Fresh back from the experience, not fresh, right? A week and a half ago or so, I'm just amazed at the continual lack of participation. Overall, you know, Sam's said I'm being generous if I say the participation was half what it was in previous years. It certainly was, you know, kind of dead a lot of the time, and we haven't had that in the past. Obviously, the hurricanes had some impact on that. Restoration pros down there helping out in both Houston and Florida, but I mean, it didn't equate for all of that. Obviously, you heard me bang up on their lack of social presence, but this industry, as far as associations and trade shows now, is in massive decline. We're seeing it get worse year after year after year. And so, you know, I'm really nervous. Until a digital community is able to come up that has elected officials and they're working towards standards and solid education, and then those people then grow a massive digital community that then happen to have a physical presence, we're going to see this continuing decline. It's unlikely that associations will be able to pull themselves out of the grave. So sad, but just the way it is. We're not probably going to go to the experience next year for the first time in like 14 years. That's because of a general conflict. I've got 2 shows to trade, and ISA is just a much, much bigger show. So, you know, it's sad to say that now we're going to continually add to that pile on, but, you know, if people aren't showing up, we've got to go to the places they are. ServiceMonster product updates. So 6.1.2 should be out by midweek. It includes a handful of bug fixes and a few minor features, which includes Discover cards and the ability to plop down packages without them messing up the order. We've also updated the grids, column, and search filtering. Mobile 3 should also be out by mid next week and includes some depth on the site record, along with that Send Gym button I keep talking about. From everyone here at ServiceMonster, thank you so much for your attention. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, go check out the demo, and give us a call.